Make sure you do things to prove yourself right and not others wrong. Guys, I know it seems really easy to fall into the mindset of pure revenge. Like someone saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And you're like, man, I need to get revenge. Let me go make sure I go do this thing. You see, at first it might feel good, right? Because obviously you're doing what you need to do to get revenge on this person who said you couldn't do this certain thing. But ultimately, it won't lead you to happiness when you do things purely out of revenge, right? Right? And the reason for this is because that means you're not living for you. You're living for them, and they are controlling you. And what you're going to realize is when you've spent time, so much time grinding for the sole purpose of proving someone else wrong, you're eventually going to look at yourself and be like, okay, what do I want? And you're like, wow, I kind of only did all of this to play somebody else's game. Because the only reason why you're doing what you're doing is purely out of revenge, you know? That's why it's important to recognize that, yes, revenge is a good motivator to do things, but it's not a good reason to do something, because the reason that vengeance comes from is from someone else. It's somebody dictating your life. And if you want to achieve pure success, success that actually fulfills you, you need to be doing things to prove yourself right about things. That way, everything you do aligns with who you actually want to be, not who you want to be to prove somebody else wrong. Because then you're going to be stuck playing their game, and you're going to have to keep moving the goalpost on what you have to become in order to make sure you're getting revenge on that person. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make sure the reason why you're motivated to do the things that you do, whatever they are. And obviously, if you're young, ambitious guys, I know there could be a lot of different things that you're really motivated to do. But the main thing that you are motivated to do, make sure you want to do it because you want to do it, not because you need revenge, not because somebody told you you couldn't do it, not because your parents told you you should do this, not because anyone told you anything. You need to be making sure that you are doing what you want to do because that is what you want to do. You want to prove yourself right that this is what you want and this is what you can become. And for example, obviously, if someone is like, nah, you can't do that, obviously you can now take that hater or that person who said that to you and use revenge to fuel you to not only prove yourself right, but to also prove them wrong. But make sure you don't do anything purely to prove something wrong. Because now when you make decisions, there could be decisions that actually benefit you way more in the long run, but because you choose revenge over it, it's only going to help you in the short term to satisfy your desire for revenge. And like I said, that's you acting on what somebody else decided you should act like instead of what is actually going to be beneficial to you in the future. I hope you guys really understand like what I'm trying to say. Because like I said, as a young guy, it's so easy to fall into revenge, to want to seek out revenge. It's so easy. It's just so easy. And it doesn't help you think about your actual long-term future where you want to be doing something that fulfills you because that's what you wanted to do, not because you wanted to make sure you get revenge on somebody, right? I want to make sure you guys are living for you, not for anybody else, because ultimately that's all we want to do. We want to make sure we are living for us so we can actually live fulfilling lives. So once again, just to sum up, make sure whatever you decide to do, whatever your ambitious goal is, you are doing it to prove yourself right about something. It's a desire that you internally, personally have for whatever reason. Your childhood, you've just been motivated. You've always been passionate about it. You've always been inspired by it. You read a book when you were a kid. You were at a game when you were a kid. Whatever you did to make you personally want that thing, right? And if there's anything else in your life where someone told you you can't do something, Don't go start trying to do that thing just because they told you you can't, because you're doing something way better, which is you living the life you want to live, which is better than any random ass revenge you could want to get on someone just because they said you can't do a certain thing. You have to make sure you're living for you.